We are not imposing. We say, banks, please, the house belongs to you. This is the rates and taxes that are utilized by this house that belongs to you. If we have a problem with the billing system, this is the office that we are prepared to establish as a joint ombudsman to dealing with the billing problems, including insurance companies, colleagues. I know where I stay in Midrand. Every month end, there is a traffic light that will go down because someone was drunk and went through that traffic light. And it's the municipalities that must repair that traffic light. We must approach the insurance companies and insurance company. This man who's insured with you ran over our traffic light. Before you repair the car, give us the portion that we must go and repair this particular problem. That's the thinking that we need to come collectively now. We can't have people running down our infrastructure and we must go and look for money every month for infrastructure of somebody that does not care just because they are drunk that particular weekend. So to build the capacity of the state means we must think beyond what we do and what we are doing now. Because the revenue base is shrinking literally every day. We are not imposing our will on banks and insurances, but we say it's a debate that we are ready to start and engage so that we can resolve some of these problems. But colleagues, if we don't communicate the work that we do, which is the last part of our priority, our ability to communicate, we must not undermine what committees. We must not undermine consultation with traditional leadership. We must not undermine consultation with the taxi industry and many other industries in our province. So we have convened you so that we can translate these things into a practical solution that can assist us to resolve some of the problems. And within that spirit of revenue enhancement, we are proposing to you, we had discussion with the executive mayors who have agreed on it, that the Department of COGTA together with the Department of eGov, we are now piloting an e-indigent register because we need to protect the poor and remove those that are hiding behind the poor for failing to pay for services. And if we don't have a reliable indigent register that is live, up to date, we are going to fail the poor when they need us. So we are proposing a very data-driven indigent register that goes beyond the registers that we've been utilizing before. The MEC responsible for COGTA has been given this task to say, develop an indigent register that every citizen that is in our province that pay for services, as soon as that particular individual is registered with any database that you have, the indigent status of that individual will change immediately. And those that are retrenched, immediately, they don't have to come to us to say, I'm retrenched. The Department of Labor give us the names. We run through our database. We know that this particular individual is retrenched. He's not going to be in a position to pay. So we want an indigent register that goes beyond the database of government. Have you seen government departments? I work for government. You are government. But when I arrive at our offices, you are asking me for my copy of an ID. When you have it, you are government. You have it. You need my copy, I must certify it, and other things. So this indigent register is going to be electronic, is going to touch database. We just need your ID number, we know you qualify to be an indigent or not. We even check with the retail stores, when last did you open an account at Edgar's? Do you have a Netflix account? Because you can't say you are indigent when you have a Netflix account. You can't. It does not work. So we want, as part of our revenue enhancement, at the center we must have an indigent register that will assist us to ensure that we can identify the weak and protect the poor. Colleagues, national government give us billions of rands for indigent. We are losing that money because we are not implementing the indigent register. So the poor that's supposed to get free basic water and free electricity are going through difficulties. And the money that Rand Water and ESCOM needs, that's the money that we should be utilizing to pay those institutions. So the indigent register that we are going to formulate and pilot is going to assist us to isolate the poor from the rich. From us as a provincial government, in our hospitals, there are those that with medical aid, but if they come to us, they say they're unemployed. This indigent register will assist us to also expose them and deal with those issues. The next area, colleagues, we held meetings with all your executive mayors, MMCs responsible for water, the CFOs. Rand Water is here, is going to give a presentation to the collective in some of the commissions. Colleagues, if we can't act on this issue of water in our province, a bleak Christmas is confronting our citizens. We received a detailed report from Rand Water in the presence of municipal managers, in the presence of CFOs, executive mayors. Rand Water declares that there is a limit national government gives them to go and get water from our dams. They've not only reached that limit, they've exceeded that limit. And there's no way that they can go and look for more water because it does not solve the problems that we have. They come back to us and declare that 33% of water get lost across the province. Get lost either through illegal connections, leakages, old infrastructure, that even if they can go and get extra water from the dams, from National Department of Water, reality is that they will get water to lose water. So we need to be creative, therefore. And this is the resolution that we have adopted, that we wanted to come to you and present it to you for adoption so that all of us will agree. One, immediately we are going to declare war on water losses. And that each and every municipality will invest with the support of Rand Water and ourselves to detect water losses. Two, we immediately disconnect all illegal connections. And we are bringing all law enforcement agencies to support this task. Three, all municipalities without exception will introduce level 1 water restrictions. Four, will unleash a communication strategy that will alert and educate our citizens, businesses, and other institutions that are using water about the challenges that we are facing as a province. Five, we're going to deploy law enforcement agencies to protect all installations and ensure that our installations or infrastructure is protected. Six, each and every municipality must make current account payments, and all institutions of government must ensure that they also pay municipalities what they owe, so that we can be in a position to have a cash flow that allows us to deal with these matters. Seven, that we're going to create a common center where leakages are reported, and we expect municipalities to immediately respond. And this report is going to be made available every week. Eight, that we're establishing a joint management structure comprising the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Rand Water, the Gauteng government and all municipalities, where weekly reports will be given on how we are turning around the situation of water in our province. Lastly, which is very important, that we'll establish a joint communication campaign comprising of business, government, NGOs, and all other relevant sectors that will assist to alert our people that we are dealing with this matter. We've been working on this plan for the last 3 months or so. We held a water summit, we held an IGR meeting, and these are the concrete proposals that we are putting to you so that we can go and communicate this to our people when we leave here. This is the resolution that we are bringing to you, councillors, for your immediate action and immediate support, so that we save the situation, so that we protect the water infrastructure in our province and allow an institution like Rainwater to function very well and attend to this. The second area, colleagues, that we also want to put proper proposal, and I want to thank MEC Mail has been meeting with various communities, is the issue of Spaza shops. We must agree as this particular province that there must be form of regulation for people to establish this installation in our communities. It can't be a free-for-all. That those that operate these particular businesses, there must be a form of accountability, and collectively out of this meeting will agree for the strengthening and establishment of inspectors to ensure that expired food are not sold to our children, and that each and every Spaza shop that is in our area must be appropriately registered so that we can protect our children. The third area, colleagues, is the area that we call Transport Authority. This resolution was taken many years. Unfortunately, the disruptions within local government has created problems. Transport is the lifeblood of any economy. And if we don't have a single transport authority to manage the many challenges that we are having, we are indeed going to create problems and chaos in our roads. I was briefed by the MEC responsible for transport that the taxi industry regulation, registration, it's flawed with a lot of corruption. You find 3 taxis are using 1 permit, and that the routes are determined by force rather than by legislation. We have to stand together with the taxi industry and show them it is in their best interest to have a regularized, compliant taxi industry. That it can't be a free-for-all, but most importantly, a linkages with all the transport modes. One ticket must allow you to get into a taxi, to get into a bus, to go into a train, and to go into a Gautrain if we have to use that particular. That we need to move towards that thing and ensure that we invest in one ticket system in our province. That's how other communities work, so that we can avoid many other things that we have seen in this particular industry. But there must be no industry that thinks they can bully us, decide to close roads as they wish, and close some taxi rank on the basis that they don't agree with their competitors. We need to enter that space and take control of that particular space. As I conclude, we also need to be firm on things that we need to agree that they are lawlessness. We can't have all our traffic lights, people just cutting them daylight and removing them. We can also allow people to invade land as they wish. We can't also allow lawlessness to prevail in our province. Colleagues, firmness does not mean you are selling ice cream. I'll rather be hated for doing good or be loved for doing wrong, or looking at things that are not going properly in our communities. If we don't do these things, all of us, colleagues, we must kiss this province goodbye. We can't compete with the best in the world when things are falling apart in front of our eyes. We have to be firm, decisive, and use the power of the state to protect ourselves. We can't have clinics that can't be built because someone is asking for 30%. And we can't have roads that cannot be built because someone feels that they can dictate terms to us. This is our province. As long as you follow the law, it's fine. But you can't dictate us as an extortionist requesting resources that don't belong to you, but you demand those resources using the name of our communities. That's lawlessness. And if we can't be firm, and we can't be strong, and we can't stand together, we will lose this, and our communities, our towns are going to be slums rather than be economic activities. So as I conclude, let us be one. Let's plan together. Let's put our resources together. But let's have a plan that will ensure that we grow Gauteng together. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Premier, for a very detailed marching orders. It's a very clear marching order. I see that we are joined, and let's have everybody in. Very important points, Premier, that we have raised. One of those is Harry Smith. In fact, you talked on the importance of nodes. That there are several nodes that have not been exploited adequately. And indeed, thinking around